McGill aviation expert Karl Moore is joining us this morning from Montreal with more. Good morning. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
What information will the black boxes contain?
Well, there's two black boxes. One is the one they found already, which is the flight data, and that takes a couple hundred measures from the plane itself and will give an enormous amount of information about what actually happened, at what speed, and so on. The other one is the voice recorder, which records the voices of the pilots, the co-pilots, anyone else who's in the cockpit, as well as transmissions from the ground to the plane and vice versa. So that will give us enormous information to figure out what actually happened instead of just speculating.
Do black boxes always solve the mystery of what caused a plane to go down?
Certainly in the vast majority of cases they do. So we have we can be pretty confident it will tell us what the story is.
Now, there is still a lot of speculation about what brought the plane down. One official says the plane probably exploded before hitting the water. Given what we know about the parts of wreckage that have been located, what do you think?
Well, no, that's really speculation. At this point, given that the black box, one of them has been found, the other one, the ping can be heard, and they've located, it appears, I think we should just wait for a couple of weeks and see what the actual data says rather than speculate. There's been a bunch of ideas, certainly icing of instruments, pilot error, and so on, which may well be an element of it. But we're so close to knowing, I think it's just better to wait till then, not to speculate. I don't think it's really much point to it.
And the grim task of recovering bodies continues, yet only about a third of them have been found. As the days go on, how difficult is it going to be for searchers, for divers, and will they be able to properly ID people?
Well, it seems that thus far they'll be able to do that. And when we look at crashes in the past, you can. And these days with DNA testing, things like that, it's easier than it was 10 or 15 years, 20 years ago. So I think that they'll be able to do that. And it depends. I think the weather has improved from what I've heard, so I'll make it easier to do that. They've got a lot of equipment there, people with a lot of experience. So pretty confident that they should be able to recover all the bodies.
And what is your assessment of how this whole operation has gone down? Have authorities handled this the best way that they possibly could?
I think they've done a reasonably good job at not better than what was done for the Malaysian Flight 370, which disappeared. I think there were some lessons learned from that. It's a different country as well. But the president of Indonesia suggests, I think he's right, that with all the growth of aviation in that part of the world, particularly in Indonesia, that the system needs to get additional resources to catch up with it. May not be relevant in a particular case, but that's certainly something the world's become more aware of, and hopefully Indonesia will improve. I'm taking 30 McGill students there next month, the end of next month. So we have 3 flights in Indonesia. So I've got some skin in that game. So I hope it does improve. Certainly this kind of exposure makes people really think about it, and I think improve their game, though it may not be particularly relevant in this particular crash.
Karl Moore, McGill aviation expert, joining us from Montreal this hour. Thanks again.
My pleasure.